foremost, congratulations and welcome to the Philippines. Of course, we would like, we really appreciate your presence right now. Like, you look so stunning. What are you wearing today?
I'm wearing Bueno.
Makeup today?
Drew.
Yeah!
Mama Drew.
Of course, we need to commend this talented artist.
Oh! From Kiwi Bird!
Katharina, of course, Miss Asia Pacific's really fast approaching. How did you prepare for this competition?
So my preparations have been vigorous, I'd like to say. So every time I'm here in the Philippines as well, I do training with my PH, my Philippine family and team, but also in New Zealand have been putting in the hours of doing that pasarela of making sure that I'm spreading my message in a way that the youth can receive it, and just making sure that mentally I'm 100% here and I'm 100% ready and able to do the learnings, the work to become your next Miss Asia Pacific International.
Yes, we will pray for you. And of course, we would like to know, since you have half Filipino and Kiwi blood, do you have any plans incorporating with Filipino designers for the upcoming competition?
Yes, 100%. So throughout my entire wardrobe for Miss Asia Pacific International is a range of Kiwi designers to Filipino designers. In fact, I might do a little name drop for you, but my finals and my preliminary gowns are actually by Mark von Garner.
Whoa! Yes, good luck and welcome. Thank you.
Welcome MC never.
Oh, and also my neck cost, is by Benny Hassan here in the Philippines.
Hi, Katharina. Short question. Which segment of the competition are you most excited about?
Sorry, are you able to repeat that?
Sorry, which segment of the competition are you most excited about?
Oh, I love this. So I think my favorite part of the whole competition, or what I'm looking forward to from seeing from other candidates, would be the national costume. And I think it's also the essence of Miss Asia Pacific International, because you're really honoring where you're coming from, you're honoring your country and the cultures that are there. And so I'm really excited to see what everybody has cooked up for their national costume. Yeah.
Thank you. From the Kiwi Bird.
This is Jay from Pageant Trend. So my question for you is, aside from loving yourself and loving your talent, what do you love most about yourself?
I think yourself is a makeup of your talents and the things that make you you, right? So apart from singing, I think the thing that I love most about myself is my heart, because your heart, you have the capability to love others, you have the capability of accepting others, and so I think my heart has been the biggest asset, not only for this pageant, but in life, in terms of accepting new learnings and accepting new cultures, accepting new people.
Follow-up question.
From Kiwi
We all know that you have Filipino roots. So my question for you is, what's your favorite Filipino tradition?
I've experienced so many, and for the first time sometimes, Filipino cultures and traditions, but like Santa Cruz it was my first year experiencing that, I think earlier this year, it was so fabulous. But I think the things, like the traditions, at least maybe this is a tradition for myself and my family, is simply just making traditional Filipino food. I grew up making lumpia with my grandma, my lola in New Zealand, and so I think that's been my favorite thing, because it's a tradition every single Christmas.
Thank you so much, and best of luck, dear.
Thank you.
Would you mind? Hi, Katharina. I'm Edge Pageantology 101. You look like 90s actress Vanessa Del Bianco.
Oh,
so, yeah. Would you mind? Yeah. So my first question. So how can you tell us the story or process on how did you get the title? Were you appointed or did you join a national pageant in New Zealand for you to acquire the Miss Asia Pacific New Zealand title?
So I joined a national pageant, Miss Asia Pacific International New Zealand, for getting my pageant title.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Can you give us three interesting facts about you that you want us to share with our audience right now?
Of course. So one interesting fact about me is I started my own business called Slime Princess when I was 11 years old. And so if you don't know what slime is, it's like this really fun, sticky, gooey toy that kids like to play with. But it's also really good for people with disabilities, as it's automotive. When you play with it, you learn how to touch and how to feel. And so I feel like that's a very fun fact, because I was 11 in some night markets in a pink tutu, white t-shirt with my logo on it, a big, bright pink bow, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. selling my slimes by myself. I was like, family, go away, let me do this. So one fun fact is I started that business. Another fun fact is I live on a lifestyle block in Auckland, so I like to dip my finger into some farming. And my third fun fact would be, on the farm we actually have a range of pets, whether this is bunnies, dogs, but our favorite, and I think maybe your favorite's going to become, is Madonna the alpaca. She's a domesticated alpaca. I saw her when we were driving home, and we saw the paddock, and we saw this white baby alpaca laying in the mud. And so it was rainy, she was stuck there, so we brought her into the house. I gave her a shower and an actual shower, and then she's just become our pet ever since.
Wow. May alpaca ba dito? We don't have alpaca here.
We'll just have to take you to New Zealand.
Alright. What is the essence of winning this Miss Asia Pacific title for you?
The essence is the Miss Asia Pacific International title is not only a title, but it's a platform. It's a place where I can expand my reach of my advocacies and allowing the youth to know that their uniqueness is something that should be celebrated. And so I think the essence of winning it for me is to expand and have that message get a greater reach, really.
You have a beautiful singing voice. If there's any song that you would like to dedicate on your Miss Asia Pacific journey, what song would it be? Would you mind?
Would I mind? Would you mind? There is this one song which is by Leia. I'm not sure if Leia Salonga wrote it, but it's a song that I grew up listening to her sing on discs. I actually got to sing with Leia Salonga when I was 8. But it's The Journey So Far.
What a journey! Come on,
The journey.
sing.
What a journey it has been. And the end is not in sight. But the stars are out tonight.
And they're bound to guide my way.
Yes!
You're so beautiful. You have a boyfriend?
No.
Yes! Would you mind?
Adam, last 3 questions.
Hi, Katharina.
Oh, Brent.
Pleasure to meet you this afternoon.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm curious to ask, you're only 18 years old, so, and you are already this high-functioning teenager that we are seeing right now. So I wonder, where is this confidence coming from? Let's face it, you're in school right now, and you could be prioritizing, focusing on it right now, but you're joining a pageant in your 18 years of existence. So what is it about pageantry that you are seeing that, that really makes you go for it at such an early young age?
I think the thing that really makes me so passionate about pageantry is the fact that when you have a title or when you have this authority, you are able to do more, and you're able to spread your message with more and more people. And I think that's something that no matter what age you are, no matter how young or how old, is something that is always valuable in this world, because we all have our ideas that should be shared. We have these ideas that are going to make the world a better place. And if it's especially for that reason, and especially for empowering the youth, for the next generation to have that sense of belonging so that they can do more, why not do it now?
Would you consider your youth as an advantage in this year's competition?
I think that being young definitely gives me some advantage for connecting with younger people. And it can go either way, I think, for Miss Asia Pacific, whether my youth is something that's advantageous or not. But it is something that makes me me. I'm currently 18, and I can't change that, nor do I want to change that right this moment. I'm going through life as it is.
Yes. And last question.
Would you mind?
And last question. You're the second Filipina to compete, to be in this year's batch. How do you see this in relation?
Okay na, ma'am.
How do you see this in relation to this whole thing? Like you are Filipina and then there's Miss Philippines. Do you think the organization will be generous enough to award, probably 2 Filipinas in the top 5 of this year's competition? How do you plan to stand out in this year's competition?
So I think that, also bringing it back, being half Pinay, that's just part of my cultural makeup. And I don't think that your culture defines your worth. I don't think it defines where your ranking should be at all. I think it is, the ranking that you are given is given because of what they see in your potential. So I don't think that's really a question in my mind.
Great answer. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have one last media asking their question. Hello, good afternoon. So Anton from Pageant. So we saw the video earlier. We visited the e-cares mission organization. Can you tell us your experience with kids?
Yeah. So my experience with He Cares has been somewhat of a recent one. I discovered the organization back in January when I did a Help Me, Help Them campaign. So I came and flew to the Philippines gaining support from the New Zealand community. And so I visited 4 different organizations, including Scott Foundation, He Cares, Cribs Foundation, and Vision of Hope. And so those are all helping the street children and the orphans here in the Philippines from different ages and sometimes different backgrounds. For example, Cribs Foundation is all about helping the young girls who may have been abused, whether that is sexually or physically. And so He Cares is all about the difference with He Cares, and what I really love about it is it's inspiring and it's helping the youth educate themselves further. It's helping them go through universities, through primary school, getting that basic education. And so though my time with He Cares has been short and knowing who they were only this year, it has been something that I hold really close to my heart.
So follow-up question. Your favorite Filipino food and why?
Oh, there's so many good Filipino food. There's so much. Actually, when we first entered the country, upon arrival, our first meal was actually manginasal. We went straight for it. But lumpia is definitely one of my favorites because I just have so many fond memories of making it with my family and my grandma and my cousins and sharing that with Kiwis in New Zealand. So that is one of my favorites. But I think my other favorite would have to be taho. And that's because I have memories of when I was younger coming to the Philippines. And before going into the office with my mom and my dad for their business trips, there would always be the taho man outside the office. And it was my favorite treat. And every time I'm here, we have to wake up super early to catch the taho man. He doesn't age.
Good luck here.
Thank
All
you.
right. And I think we have one last person asking a question.
Hi, Kat. We met last Monday. So I am the VP VP of Marketing for Aquafresh New Zealand and the head of the Philippines office. So, would you mind if I share a little story about how we came up with that decision regarding...
Share.
So,
I don't mind.
Thank you. Okay, so here's what happened. We partnered up with Miss Asia Pacific New Zealand, and 3 days before the coronation night, every morning the organizers told me, "Hey Andrew, who will be our Miss Aquafresh New Zealand?" So I'm a bit busy, and then can I do this tomorrow? And then tomorrow comes, "Hey Andrew, who's gonna be our Aquafresh New Zealand?" And then I told my assistant and the whole team, I told them, gather up some stats, let's see what they do. I need some research, I'll do my research on my own, and then we'll discuss. Then we sat down in the office, and it's like a tight competition, meaning the other competitor has a lot of likes, a lot of followers, right? A lot of like Filipino friends who's like hearting the Instagram posts, did a lot of stuff for the social media, and it's a tight squeeze. And then the question came up: are we going with the stats or are we going with the heart? Yeah, so we chose eventually the heart. Because I did some research, I know that you're doing your advocacy thing, and here we are. So the question for me is, now that you are the Miss Aquafresh New Zealand, what is your bigger plan to promote our advocacy? Because in New Zealand, that's our advocacy, to reach out to as many people as we can, and like the children, and well, the promoting of PrEP is just a side byproduct. But we wanted to reach out to as many as people as we can through your help. So, what's the plan?
So, I have been doing a series of I'm sorry. It's a different campaign. I've been doing breakfast and entrepreneurship. So this has been a series of talks throughout Aotearoa, New Zealand, where I've been visiting primary schools and intermediate schools. And so I've been sharing the message about that they should embrace who they are, their unique qualities, and maybe open their eyes to entrepreneurship in that way. And I've been collaborating with Aqua Flask through those programs because they have been so pivotal in allowing, like, hydration is very, very key. You need to be hydrated to learn. You need to be hydrated for all of that. So we've been giving some prizes of Aqua Flask and promoting you to the children as well. But I think in terms of reach, it's all about going to children and to schools, because where you do your learning, you need to be hydrated to learn. Yeah.
Thank you.
Our Aqua Flash.
All right, now, thank you to everyone with your insightful questions and engagement today. So it is truly heartwarming to see the support that you have for Katharina. And before we wrap up this segment, maybe Katharina, do you have any last words that you would like to share to our friends from the media?
Wait lang,